Oh, welcome back. It's the Canadian Bro Show, the second iteration, all basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley. And before I introduce my co-host at the most, Mr. Trent Rowley, my name is Paul Bale. I'm the founder and host of the Canadian Bro Show. This is, believe it or not, episode 51, week 21 of the NBA 2025-26 season. And this is all basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley. And I'm going to... Oh, and that photo you're looking at, I'll tell you later at the end of the show. And this is none other than the very talented, my good old friend of 40 years plus or whatever, Mr. Trent Rowley from St. Paul, Alberta. Trent, welcome back. And how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Plus 6 in Alberta today.
Wow. Yeah, plus 15 in Kelowna. It went up to 18 at one point. I couldn't believe it.
Well, hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully it stays that way when I'm there in the start of April.
Oh, I think that's going to be pretty much a guarantee, bro.
Nice.
I really do. And so you get some good golf in, and hopefully you get to hang for a bit before you head back. And sure. And I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, everybody, welcome back to the Canadian Bro Show. We are going to be starting out with, we talk about all basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley, but if anybody's watched the show in our second season with 51 episodes now, I'd like to start off with Wnba and what's going on. There's some big news there. Big news with Caitland Clark and the USA qualifiers for the next Olympic rounds and future World Cups, of course. Salute, no problem. And we get into fantasy NBA basketball as it's the playoffs coming up at the end of this week. We hit the playoffs. We've actually really sort of started. We're finishing it up. And Trent and I will fill everybody in on that. We will talk about the NBA schedule and how that affects Yahoo basketball, fantasy basketball in particular, 9 categories. And then we're going to get into the schedule with the NBA, and we're going to freestyle it. And with 15 games left, there's a lot of interesting activity and a lot of healthier teams than they've ever been since the start of the season. So it's encouraging, but everybody's not out of the gate. They're out of the gate, but it's all depends on where we're going to finish. And week 22 is really where it comes. Trent, some exciting news. First of all, excuse me, did it snow again in Alberta or not? It's nice, right? You said it was plus 6 or something?
Yeah, about a week ago, we got just a little skiff of snow, so nothing major, no.
That's it, eh? So now do you think you're...
we're supposed to get 20 centimeters this weekend, so... Of course.
Right? Well, yeah. We got dumped on, but it hits and run here, so by the next day it's gone. And then today it's 18, so it's like I'm thinking about all of my gardening duties for spring at the house. I've got to think I got to get everything done so I can get it done. But in the meantime, WNBA, the largest professional female basketball league in the Western Hemisphere, not in the world. FIBA has the largest governing body of men and women throughout the entire world, and their leagues are all professional as well, and there's thousands of them. But the WNBA is our version of the best league. Not quite like the NBA, certainly not even quite close. 30 years in or thereabouts, the league is still suffering growing pains. But Trent, some positive news on the CBA front.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of the rumors were last night or the night before was, hey, I think they've reached an agreement. It was, we can't release any details yet. And then 2 hours later, they're releasing details. Like it's give me a break. So it looks like salary cap is going to be started at $7 million. That's up from $1.5 million. I mean, that's
a nice jump.
Supermax is going to be Supermax deals will be starting at $1.4 million. Previous was at $250,000. So that's a huge jump.
And what does that mean for the folks that might not know what that means, Trent?
Well, so the Supermax is like you can sign your players, almost like the Larry Bird rule in the NBA.
People wouldn't know that either, but I know what you say.
Yeah, but like Kelsey Mitchell, she could have been a free agent last year. Yeah. But if she could be signed to a Supermax deal by Indiana, which she was like a $250,000 deal. Well, now that deal can be $1.4 million.
Wow.
It's almost like the Supermax deals of players in the NBA. They can, if they stay with the team long enough, hey, If this guy, like, look at Luka. If Luka would have stayed at Dallas, he would have got a 5-year supermax deal for like 600 million for, kind of thing. Like, who knows?
It wasn't that much. It was about 300, but still a lot.
It's ridiculous, right? It's a crazy number.
Well, that's why they traded him. They didn't want it. They didn't think he was worth the 200.
That's good for they were idiots for doing that, but whatever. So that's a big jump, 1.4 from 250. The big jump for me is the average salary, because there's again, the WNBA, just like the NBA, has some scrubs. They're bench players. They're good enough to be in the league, but you're never going to know who they were. Like half the league that you didn't know who until the Caitland Clark showed up. But I digress. The average salary is going to be now around 600,000. It was 120,000 in 2025. With the minimum salary, used to be at 66,000, is now going to be 300,000. I mean, they've got a huge jump in the salaries. But here's the big thing: the league, like we talked about last episode. The ladies were pushing for a bigger revenue share, right?
And outrageously.
And the thing about the salary cap, the other thing is, it's going to be like the NBA. It can grow. The cap can get bigger if the revenue gets bigger, which is great for the league. That's what it should be anyways. It's a business, right? The big thing was the revenue sharing. The league was looking for, the ladies were being ridiculous, looking for like 28-29%, and this is where the league wins, and this is where people not understand. It's 20%. Well, the owners win there, because to put out $7 million for a cap and salaries, that's pocket change for them. It's the owners are smart enough. First of all, they bought the teams. They see where the league is going. That's where the revenue for them is going to be like stocks, right? Yeah. So they're going to get 80% of the revenue share and 20 to the players. I think it's still a great deal for the players. It's an unbelievable deal for the players. There's still some housing details to come out, pension stuff. I think they did great. I'm glad that they got it done. I don't like listening to them now saying, we got what we were worth and we knew we were worth. Shut up. Just shut up. Yeah. Okay. You got a great deal. Go play basketball. And when your weave falls off because you get fouled, don't go running to the dressing room and then not show up for the rest of the game because you can't get it back on. Shoot the foul shots. All right. Yeah. Because that happens. So I don't want to see that nonsense either. So, but good for them. I'm happy about it. I wanted to see the league. It's 51 days away from tip-off. It's good news for all the teams. They can start training camp, expansion draft.
Exactly.
Everything like that.
And celebrate the 2 new teams joining them too, which no one talks about. I mean, it's just really odd how they've chosen to start this league and run this league, going on 29 years or whatever. It's remarkable. I find it a little bit dumbfounding.
I'm just happy they got it done. It's
me too. And all basketball fans throughout the world are. And obviously the players are, and it's not a bad deal. It's a step in the right direction. And unfortunately, the league is still run by.
Kathy Engelbert will take this as a win. Like, look what I
just
did.
Morons. Just morons.
You won't get us to this. You helped us as fans get to this position of having it almost be a strike. So I don't
even like to say her name because I'm not a fan, but that's not a big deal. But so at the end of the day, that's good news. And I think more female basketball news. Let's talk about the greatest female basketball player in the history of the game in the world currently. And I, after Trent told me that it was on, I don't have cable, but I can watch a lot of these games on YouTube now. He told me about Caitland Clark.
I wasn't on cable anyway, so I had to watch YouTube as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't have cable, so I have no idea. But what I'm saying is I didn't know it was on because, I mean, I did check the YouTube on the basketball section, and I saw it later than before. But Trent mentioned, I think, in the last episode, she played 19 minutes or something, and she had 19 points and 12 assists.
17 points and tied a record of FIBA record with 12 assists in her first
That's
game.
Incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, she's incredible. And then, of course, all the pettiness and the childness, the childish behavior is really shocking for young ladies. But again, these girls, they're young ladies, and they're privileged young ladies. And I don't think they're aware of it at all. I don't think they have any. They're not aware of the world around them. They just live in a little bubble.
Either the dudes. It's the same as the guys. It's the same thing.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think there's a big difference there, but whatever. But I'm really happy that the NBA is going in. And so I finally saw especially the Spanish game I just saw recently, and then the other games in the qualifying, and seeing her play, and then reading all the. It's funny. Everywhere Caitlin Clark plays, no matter how good she plays or how bad she plays, it's always on her.
Mm-hmm.
That the narrative is blamed because of her, instead of the narrative is because of her in a positive light, not a negative one.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. It just still fighting this at the end of it, but it's crazy though. Like, is she not the best player on that team?
I don't know. There's some Kelsey Plum's a really good player. I mean, Paige Beckers is a really good player. Your girl Angel Reese is a pretty good player.
My girl? That's not even funny, eh? Like I find her revolting as a human being.
There's some pretty good players on that team. So I mean,
there's also a starting guard. I look at it and I'm think she shouldn't be in that starting lineup. She probably isn't even good enough to be in that team. I'd say she's the weakest player in that team.
Who's that?
Some guard that starts for them. I don't even know who she is.
Chelsea Gray.
Yeah.
And she's an old veteran. She's a good player.
But listen, dude, Caitlin should be starting in that position and running the show.
Of course.
So I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But the encouraging thing is Sue Bird and her current assistant team. I don't know if it's the same as last year. Sue Bird's saying all the right things.
Yeah.
This year.
We'll see. It'll be interesting to see, I think. I just we'll hope for a good season. I'm hoping that they let's see that she can play the whole season, and she had a couple rough games.
Stay healthy. Just stay healthy.
She had a couple rough games, but at the end of the day, with what she did, she ended up being on the All-Star, the 5 All-Star team. Her and Kelsey Plum from the States, and she was the tournament MVP. So
yeah,
it's the beginning of good things to come. So.
And once again, Trent and I are one of the few YouTube podcast channels that actually focus on female basketball on a regular basis for the 2 years that we've been in. And I'm noticing on a variety, there's about 10 that I follow for the most part, and a couple of new ones that I follow. And one, I think, YTV, it's his animated brother who I kind of like. He's loud and proud. And he gets into it with the WNBA. For sure, and speaks his mind. And so it's encouraging to see that what we've been doing the last 2 seasons is paying off to perhaps some other channels that are seeing what we're doing as well. And I think more exposure, the better. Just because they're gals doesn't mean they're not great basketball players and it's not fun basketball. It's some of the best basketball I've ever seen in my life. And both Trent and I had the privilege of not only teaching young kids, both female and male, but I taught professionally a female team in Austria, and I worked with the Vancouver Grizzlies, and Trent's volunteered. Both of us have volunteered on and off for a very long time. So when we know what we're talking about, and I know Trent still misses it, and I do on occasion as well. I'm just too busy, and I'm looking forward to creating a new team in Kelowna in real estate. But in the meantime, the next phase of today's show is Yahoo Fantasy Basketball. Anybody that follows the show knows that Trent and I, we play and drafted on 2 separate teams. And we follow the exploits of our journey through those seasons. And Trent's ascended into the second highest level of fantasy basketball in Yahoo. And rather quickly, not surprisingly at all, in my opinion. And we're in the first stage of the playoffs, the Yahoo. So I have 8 teams. And what I try to do is I try to get and finish strong. And I've got 4 firsts, actually 3 firsts and 1 second that had first numbers. And I got 4 buys out of 8 teams, which is awesome. It allows my team to get healthy. It allows me to, watch the waiver wire and see if teams drop players that I could pick up. I've got 2 teams out of those 8 that I'm first pick. So if somebody drops a bomb, I'm all over it. Nobody can take it from me at that stage, which is really important. And
I'll veto it if it's in my league.
Well, I know you'll try, but we'll meet in the playoffs, bro. That's obvious if you look at our
The
current
only way we meet in
standings.
the playoffs is the finals, my man. So
Yeah, well, don't worry about that because that's what I do.
I ain't worried.
Well, you will be when I get rid of you. And so out of the other four teams, I'm in the playoffs as well, and I finished fourth and fifth place, and I'm fatty. So if you win those, if I win three of those, I'm moving into the semifinals and finals, basically. And there's consolation, and then there's the top two teams that end up being the top four teams. And after this next round, and that's where you start getting trophies. So the schedule is absolutely paramount, and health is absolutely paramount. And if you're going to be crazy to play with the waiver wire right now, waiver wire connected, which I'll be coming in after the schedule and talking about, you're absolutely insane. It is a gong show. Is guys sitting out. There's back-to-backs all over the place. There's a pretty decent schedule. And
all over it this week. Let's go.
Yeah, you were active on Monday. Me too. And that's well, because it was a back-to-back. And Monday, Tuesday, if you start off, you're in a good position. You're at 6-2, 5-3 on Wednesday. And Wednesday's got a decent amount of games. You get through Thursday, which only has 6 games. Saturday's the worst day this week. I think there's 9-10 games. And then me, I always try to get my Sunday Mondays because if I can get into 7 of the 8 teams, maybe even 8 of the 8, who knows, in the finals, I have a chance to win more trophies, and that's the whole point. But you must play the schedule. Week 21 of 2026, March 16th to 22nd of 26 starts. Marks the start of the playoffs for many Yahoo fantasy leagues. There's different leagues, so not everybody. With all 30 teams playing at least 3 games, which is kind of rare. And a good majority playing 4, and 2 teams that are playing 5. I'll get into that shortly. Phoenix and Washington lead the schedule with 5 games. That can be a real wonderful thing, or that can be an absolute nightmare. Phoenix doesn't have enough players that are healthy. And I just figured that out by taking a risk on a guy that all of a sudden he decided his knee wasn't good and he was healthy the game before. So you lose a pick.
I did the same in Washington. I picked up Wnba there, and he had
I saw that Bill O'Cooley, and he was gone the next game.
And then he doesn't sit, and he sits the next game, and he's got 5 games. And I'm like,
I thought about you. I had a laugh after coffee that morning.
Because he went off. He went off the night before.
I know. But he's Killabali is one of these young kids. He's just too early. He's not there yet. Excuse me. And I'm sorry, everybody.
I just picked him up because that was the only. He's
a young, talented French kid. He just got picked up too early, and he's very inconsistent. He'll have 1 or 2 games, and then he'll be injured for 3 months. I've avoided him like the plague.
But come back this next game, and then I'll be dumping him and picking up somebody else.
Right. So that's why we do the schedule. So to finish the schedule before we're going to waiver wire connected about who we're going to pick up is Phoenix and Washington have 5 games. There's 4 games. Atlanta, Brooklyn. Don't even bother with Brooklyn. They are. It's embarrassing what they're doing. And no, they just don't have any talent. They're for an NBA team, it's a joke. And Boston, Denver. Thank God, I love teams like Boston, Denver, Golden State, Houston, Clips, Lakers, Memphis, Minnesota, New Orleans, Orlando, Portland, Sacramento, Spurs, or San Antonio Spurs. I mean, Wnba, that guy's a freak. 3 games, and that's it. There's no 2 games. It's the Hornets, Chicago, Cleveland, Dallas, Detroit, Indiana, Miami, Milwaukee, New York, OKC, Philly, Sacktown, Toronto, and Utah. So really, as we were saying, this is Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday have already happened. If you can stack your teams and they perform on Monday, Tuesday, you're in an excellent position in Wednesday going in tonight, as there's 6 games.
Yeah.
I think 5 or 6. I think 6. Yeah. And actually, there's more than that. I've got them on my other screen here.
A few more than that for sure.
There's 8 games. Pardon me. And then back-to-back sets are already done. So at the end of the day, the playoff push is all about streaming, filling in injured players, Trent's going to get rid of the German kid who's not German, he's really Spanish, and Tristan Silva because he's a fill-in spot. What's it? Yeah, you got a couple of good games out of him, and that's the whole idea about back-to-backs and stuff, right?
Yep.
And the playoff push is when the playoffs begin. Streaming options should focus on the Suns and Wizards. They do have a 5-game schedule. If you get a guy that can play 3 or 4 games, you're lucky. If you get a guy that can play 5 games, it can be a real game changer.
Yeah, exactly.
And one guy we'll talk about and bring up because I think he's one of the most exciting young Canadian players I really didn't know very much about. And I watched him play, and I was like, holy shit, this guy is 6'9", and a half. And he's built like a bunch. You remember Livingston that used to play with the Clippers? He was like a 6'7" point guard, combo guard, lanky, long.
Yeah, he was on the Warriors when they first won too.
Yeah. But this kid is legitimately 6'9" and a half. He's going to be 6'10", and he reminds me of like a taller version of McGrady. And he's got lots of juke, and he handles the rock like crazy. He's smooth. He kind of reminds me of George Gervin, but he's 6'9" and a half.
Frick, man, he's like reminded you of 10 players here so far. Like, what's his name?
I would say more Joe. I've only seen him play once.
Well, what's his name?
I'm getting there. That's in the next segment.
Oh my gosh, you've got the Trump weed going on. It's going all over the place. We're gonna come.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to finish the segment. But sometimes you forget about that. And my throat's dry, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, as long as you're laughing, that's all that matters. So, the waiver wire connected is just about struggling, and I'm not struggling. I just need, if there's one guy that's not, I cut Ice Cube, Trae Young on 3 of my teams, and I've held him all year, and he's just absolutely shitty year. But I like him, and I gave him a chance, and he shined. His last game, he had like 21 points and 8 assists, and
so he just went back to being injured again.
Yeah, he went off with calf contusion again.
So he's out for the year then.
No, I don't know. I mean, if I was them, I wouldn't play him anymore.
Yeah.
Not if he's doing with the calf. That's why he was down in the first place.
Yeah, what's the point? You're not winning it.
No. And let Will Riley, once you see this kid play, and Trey Johnson, and, some of these young rock stars, Sarr, it disappeared. He came in for 1 game, 1.5 games, and he's gone again. So who knows what these guys are doing? If you watch Sacramento, you just don't know what they're doing. They're playing DeMar DeRozan 40 minutes a game plus.
He's averaging almost 30 a game here the last month.
If he's on your fantasy team and he was available in the waiver wire, pick him up. But he's not. The thing is, they're doing everything, the antithesis of what successful franchises do in the NBA, and they don't give a shit. They don't care.
What Sacramento does is that they tanked for the first 60 games, and then they play hard for the last 22.
But why? Everybody's asking the question, why?
Makes no sense. I don't get it.
And then you look at the 3 rock stars they had, they traded all of them?
Yeah.
Like, I just...
And then my boy Maxine going off for 39 last night.
You know what? I'm actually going to watch that game after this. I'm going to upload this episode after the show, and then I'm going to watch that game tonight, because I want to see that kid against Wnba. Was Wnba playing that game? Yeah. Hey? Wnba was playing that game. San Antonio.
Yeah.
Anyways, getting into Trench's dying for waiver wire connected so he can steal somebody from me before early tomorrow before I get to him. And so I can't believe Kristaps Porzingis was sitting on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
And he's 7'3" Lithuanian. He's got this mysterious illness which is called "I'm making so much money I don't care." And he's been traded 6 times this year. And he's, he has a harem. Apparently his bedroom is just one bed. When you walk in, it's just one huge bed. So I don't know if he was reading Wilt Chamberlain biographies, but
man, you gotta have a pretty big bed.
But he's been playing, like, I picked him up, and the first 2 games were way better than I expected. He was actually showed up and was playing Kristaps Porzingis games. If he's available, scoop him. He's looking motivated. There's only 15 games left, so, G.G. Jackson, I've said it a million times, they don't have any bigs. They've lost 4 7-footers since the start of the year on that franchise. And traded away.
Right,
what's that?
No. Going to pick him up He's hurt.
I dropped him because he was hurt. I can't pick up a player and have a guy play one great game and then he's out for 3 games with a fake calf contusion. Anyways, he's back tonight and he's playing against Denver and he's lively as hell. He's like 6'9" and long, and he's maybe $190, but he's active and springy. He's kind of a weird body. He plays like Bryant, that center for Cleveland. It just feels like he's always going to fall over sometime. But he's designated as a center, power forward, small forward. So he's a guy that can fill in so many roster spots on a stream and give you activities. And he's getting 27, 28 minutes a game off the bench, right? Ty Jerome, another guy on that team. He's had calf injury. He's missed 60 games with a calf injury, and they sit him out every doubleheader. Well, dude, he just sat out 60 games. Don't sit him out.
I know.
Play him. He comes in for
he needs
22 minutes, and he had 25 points, 8 assists, 4 threes, 2 steals, and a block, and only 2 turnovers. He is out of Virginia. This kid is for real. He's available, and you're in a different league than ours because our league finishes next week, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then Ayu Desumo. Both Trent and I have flirted with him when he was with his previous team at the Inept Bulls. And I have to say Chris Finch and the crew made a really good pick because this is one of the few guards in the NBA that will give you 15 points a game. He's starting right now, by the way, because Edwards is down and injured for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he shoots 55% from the field, 88 from the foul line, and 40% from the 3. And he's 6'5". So I picked him up in 2 teams because he was floating. If you get him, grab him. Aaron Gordon, Denver comes out 2 games in a row, incredible.
Yep.
They rested him tonight because he needs it, because for some reason, he's one of the few NBA players that suffers from core issues and soft tissue issues, but he's built better than any of these skinny mofos that go down with the same injuries. His hamstring is rotten to the core, and he's played maybe 25 games this year. But the most important thing is I took a risk on him and picked him up because that center position. And he's had 2 incredible games. If he takes off a game, they need him. I think healthy Denver has a chance to win the NBA championship this year. I'll say it now.
They're losing to Memphis right now, Rick.
I'm sorry?
They're losing to Memphis right now.
Well, don't tell me. I've got the game on. I'm trying to do a show here. Like I've got all 8 games on. And they're only down 4 points and there's 6 minutes left. So do not give up on the Nuggets. So the next guy I want to talk about is Christian Brown. Now, he had this really bad high ankle injury, and he was out for 2/3 of the season, maybe more, probably more. And he was really slow. And people don't remember. They have a short-term memory, but last year he averaged almost 16 points a game. He's 6'6".
I drafted him last year.
Me too. And I like him because he's another one of these combo guards that shoots over 50% from the field and 80 from the 3 and shoots 40 from the he's just a utility guy, and he moves really well without the ball. And in Denver's offense, the Joker loves guys that move.
Yeah.
When your sets break down, if you run the first set, it breaks down, you run this. Okay, freestyle. Move. Do a back cut. Do a V cut. Set a screen.
Yeah.
Do a high pick and pop. Or a slip on a high, and you'll have a layup. So I really like the kid. Max Strus, I tried to flirt with him. He guy's always injured. First game back has 28 points and 8 threes or 7 threes, just crazy, 6'6".
Yeah.
Sadiq Bey, people just don't like the guy or they don't believe in him, but he's had an incredible year. And if you need someone to pick up, I picked him up in 2 teams this morning. Couldn't believe he was available. And he's been playing unbelievable. It's worth the pickup because the guy I got rid of was freaking stiff. Daniel Gifford, Trent said, I can't stand the guy. He's just nothing. 8 points, 6 rebounds.
Who's that?
Daniel Gafford.
Stiff.
Yeah. Well, he's not a stiff?
He is a stiff.
Yeah, I just said that. That's what I just said. And then he goes out and has 3 incredible double-doubles in a row. And no injuries, and he's playing. He's not injured. Also, P.J. Washington, same guy, same position because he gets center designation. But he's also had 3 games in a row, coincidentally, both of them. And they haven't met. The next guy I want to talk about is this Canadian kid, bro. His name is Rowley. He's 6'9.5", and he reminds me of amalgamation of NBA players. Who was the kid that played with the Detroit Pistons that looked like an alien at 6'9"? The long arms and gangly. Thank you. He is a more mobile. He's like a taller Magic Johnson. He's like 6'9", 6'10", and the way he handles the rock. I know. Look, he's got his zits. He's got more reds.
From Magic Johnson to George Gervin. There's been 5 guys so far.
Yeah, because I saw him play once, and I'm trying to figure out. I'm just saying a 6'10" point guard, and you look at their point guards. Aside from Trae Young, he could play the 2 guard, and really, it's hard to find a 6'10" kid that can really. And Matthias Berzelis is the only other 6'10" kid in the NBA that can play like that. Yeah. And I'm not. Maybe Matthias is probably the best person to say. And Matthias is a point forward, anyways, and he leads out of all guards, and he is technically a guard. He leads all NBA guards in block shots. Mm-hmm. You still have him on one of your teams?
Yep.
Okay, so getting down, Tristan Da Silva, I'm not even going to say we brought him up last week. He had a shit game, and I think Trent picked him up. You still have him?
He gone.
Yeah. Scoot Henderson, I gave him a shot every time I pick him up. You know, and sometimes in fantasy, you pick up a player, and it's just like no matter when they're going off. He had 2 great games in a row. I let him go before those 2 games, and then I picked him up after those. Still a dud. Pardon me. And I just think that he's great coming off the bench. Justin Edwards, I saw him play a couple of times. I like the way he plays. Undersized power forward. Philadelphia is a mess. I would rather pick up the kid that Toronto gave up on, who's been playing really well for the Sixers. 6'6", combo guard. He's starting. His name just left my brain for a second.
He used to play for Toronto.
Well, he's played for a number of teams. He's starting for Philadelphia right now.
Quentin Grimes?
Yeah, thank you. But another guy nobody talks about is Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn's actually, believe it or not, quietly only 13% owned.
Almost picked him up the other day.
He's one of the best thieves in the NBA, and he can run the point, and he gives you dimes. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's not a great shooter, but he plays great defense. And he's a strong 6'3.5", 220 point guard, and he's heady. And if you're in a pinch and you need somebody, I almost picked him up today as well. The last guy I talk about, he's not quite there yet. He's too young, is Cody Williams. But the Jazz are running out of bodies because they shut, 6, 7 players down?
Yep.
Or traded away another 6, 7. I mean, who knows what's going on there? But Danny seems to know what he's doing. Cody Williams, he went off. And is he as good as his brother? Not now he isn't, but maybe in a few years. Another one of these kids that could blow up in a few years. And that is the waiver wire connected, Trent. Thank you.
I'll just add to that.
Please.
It's nice to see that Zubac's actually playing again tonight, played back-to-back.
If you call that. Have you watched him play?
Yeah, whatever. He's still getting almost a double-double every game.
I know, but they don't even – the coach doesn't even know how to get him going. He has no idea.
That's fine. But at least he's playing, so I'm good with that. He's not sitting on my injury list like you did all year. Jarice Walker, you've had him. I've flirted with him a couple times. You know what? Tonight he had like 2 threes, 10 points, 7 boards, a couple steals. Yeah. Christian Braun that you brought up, well, he's got 24, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals tonight in the game.
Well, I was watching. I'm looking at it. Now the game's a 7-point game.
Our other favorite player that we just talked about pre-show, and I was complaining. I said I took a flyer just because I needed to put bodies in that team, in that playoff team. Well, Cameron Johnson tonight, 5 3-pointers tonight with 5 boards.
It's about time.
Yeah, so that helps
Better later than never.
Yeah, that helps me out big. So.
Soft mofo.
Yeah, but that's what I got for that.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, if this helps you out there, everybody, subscribe to the show, comment, like, share, notify. We really appreciate it. We're on a goal to get 500 subs. and we're going to get there. It's going to happen sooner than later with your help. Trent, is there anyone that caught your attention in the NBA? Records, how they've been playing. Giddy's gone off for 4 out of 5 games with triple dubs, and is playing really well right now.
They got pumped tonight, but
yeah.
the Lakers.
Well, I didn't see the game, so.
Yeah, well, you don't want to watch it. It's like a 30-point game.
No, I still have to. I have 8 teams, so I have to pay attention.
Lakers are playing pretty well, so I mean that's kind of caught my eye. I've flirted a couple times with maybe picking up a Marcus Smart.
67-55. Yeah, I gave up Marcus Smart a long time ago.
What we've talked about many times, I think it will be the demise of the Rockets this year is not having an actual point guard, like a point guard that plays 30 minutes a game. So that team, and I know you don't like
that's on the coach. That's on the coach.
If the Rockets have Fred VanVleet, I'm telling you right now, they're right there to be a real contender because he's a good player. I mean, whether he can't play because he's hurt, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's overrated.
The guy had 3 straight years in the league.
That's how he got paid, and they overpaid him.
Hey man, I'm just a fan because I just like what he did with the Raps when he had his.
Look, I hope he gets healthy, but he's had leg injuries his entire career, bro.
No, that's about all I got for that.
All right.
The
Pelicans destroyed the Clippers 124-109. The Celtics beat the Warriors 120-99. The Trailblazers beat Indiana 127-19. The Nets, they actually fought back. Amazing. Thunder beat them 121-92. The Raps just destroyed, as you were saying. I didn't realize it was that bad. 30-point win, 139-109.
That was terrible.
The Timberwolves, without Edwards, beat them 147-11. Be interesting to see how many points the other players got in. I want to see this. I want to watch this. The Hawks are electrifying. I love watching them. They 135-120 on the Mavericks. So some really good high-octane games. And as you know, when you get to this stage of the NBA with 15 games remaining, usually some of the best basketball from some of the top teams, East and West, are going to perform because playoff tournament is in. It's win or die to move on. And that's, top 8 teams go into the Eastern and Western playoff conference finals playoff run. And Trent, what would you like to start with, East or West?
Or are we not going to talk about March Madness starting tomorrow?
Well, I mean, let's do it. We're going to do a whole episode on it. We're just trying to get through the Yahoo Fantasy season, but let's talk about the that before we get into East and West. We got a lot of time, and I haven't had a chance to really follow it, so I was reluctant. But if you got some action, I'd love it.
Well, so they started with the first 4 that they picked 68 teams, so they picked 4 teams around the bubble. They got to play each other to get in. Right. Last night, Howard beat UMBC and the games were great. The typical tournament games, it was 86-83, but the game of the night was Texas and NC State, and Texas hit a jumper with like 1.6 left to win, 68-66, so it was a pretty good game.
Wow.
And tonight you got Prairie View beat Lehigh 67-55 at 16 seeds, and I think whoever they probably played Duke or somebody like that. They play a 1 seed. But the one team that I really was curious about watching was Miami, Ohio. They were 30-0. They lost their championship game, and they're in a really terrible conference. So their schedule's not tough, but still they're 30-0. I don't care how tough your schedule is. You're 30-0.
That's the only reason why they got picked, right?
Well, the thing is that they lost that game, so now they were 31 or whatever it was, 30-1. Right. They get in. They're getting in as a play-in game, and they're winning right now against SMU with 8 minutes left by 8 points. So
isn't that hilarious, eh? That's awesome.
I'd like to see them get in. And then tomorrow the madness starts with, one of the regionals, the East region and the West region start. All the regions start tomorrow. There's a whole day. If you're a basketball fan, there's tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can watch basketball from 10 a.m. in the morning, be 9 a.m. on the West Coast, but 10 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night. You can watch college basketball. Well,
I'm glad you brought that up because I pick a real estate course as a realtor in British Columbia. We have a 2-year cycle of education we have to do, and I picked a course tomorrow, AI, of course, on AI and real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And I use AI, not in real estate per se at this point, but certainly on my YouTube channel at the Canadian Bro Show,
Right.
which you're watching, the second iteration, all basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley. But I'm glad you brought up that. I won't be able to watch. I'm in the course from 9 o'clock in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, and then I got to do stuff around the house. But I have booked off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not available to anybody in those 72 hours. No, I kid you not, Trent. You laugh. I got food. I got snacks. I prepped my nachos. I've got shepherd's pie. I've got
tea, you got gummies. You're good to go.
And well, the gummies are an extra treat if you feel like you need a little boost. Watching basketball for 12 hours a day is not as easy as people think it is, or a lot of people think how do you have 12 hours in the day to waste watching basketball? Well, we're hoop junkies. We don't look at it that way.
Yeah, well, watching it 12 hours, but yeah.
But so next week, are we going to do a deep dive segment in the March Madness? So we're going to do.
Oh, we'll be in the Sweet 16 next week, so we can talk about it a little bit more for sure. So
yeah, okay.
But yeah,
I'd rather talk about the Sweet 16 anyways. That's when I really start getting motivated.
Yeah, this weekend. This week's such a great week. The Thursday to Sunday is just so much basketball.
So what do you do with your wife? She knows that it's March Madness, so you just go down to the sports bar and
I do stuff. I don't want. And the thing is that some of unfortunately, you'll get a Duke or Michigan or Florida, the number 1 seeds, and they're playing somebody like Prairie View. I mean, the over/under is like plus. I mean, it's a 30. Sometimes those are 25, 30-point games by halftime. I don't need to watch that. I don't need to watch the rest of the game. Yeah, the only reason I'd watch the Florida game if they blow up Prairie View is if the 7'9" Canadian kid Oliver Ryu gets in the game. So
he's on the
he's a freshman on the Gators.
I know he is. I saw he came on and he's just so huge. I remember seeing one brother who was like 6'9", and he was looking up at him when Oliver wasn't paying attention. And he was like, "Holy shit, man!" Like
he's huge, man. He's just massive. Like,
6'9", man.
He's built like Sean Bradley. That's the problem.
No, he's bigger than Sean Bradley, and he doesn't look dorky, or he has what's the disease called, giantitis. Yeah, he doesn't look like genetically he looks like he's a handsome looking kid, and he's not gangly. He's got a really big body, and he's slow as molasses. But my God, you can't. What is the old thing about height? What did they say? It's not like you can't teach height. Well, you can teach height, actually.
If you're 6'10", you're 6'10".
I know, but you can still coach.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's the thing that
I know. I never understood that one, but so do you want to get into East and West and freestyle?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, let her rip. Who do you want to start first?
Well, I mean, we always start in the East, so we can continue to start in the
East.
Why
not? Why not? Cade went down with back spasms. He's been playing unbelievable. He's been pretty healthy all year. I think he's a first-team All-Star in the NBA this year. I think he's a top 3 point guard in the NBA this year. And I'm so glad on the 7th pick I got him on 2 teams. That he was still available. Of course, Edwards was Edwards. I never knew him.
I think Detroit will probably end up with that number 1 seed. I don't know if Boston will catch them. I think the way the standings are right now in the East, especially.
What is it right now? 3 games between the two?
Yeah, 3.5. I think the big change in the East that could happen is that number 5 seed to number 8 to number 9 seed. I mean, Toronto is at the is 10 games behind, but then you got Orlando at 11, Miami at 11.5, Atlanta at 11.5, Philadelphia at 12.5, and Charlotte.
It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun.
And that's
I'm excited.
So, good win for Toronto tonight. They needed that win. They need to.
Yeah.
Toronto needs to be in the top 6. They got to make sure.
Brandon Graham just decided. He said, man, I need to, and then he went out and did it.
Oh yeah. Well, what did they say about the ultimate scoring machine? He scored 34 the other night with zero. He put up a Paul Bale stat: 34 points, zero assists. It was wonderful.
And who's this Paul Bale guy? You're saying he
Exactly.
doesn't pass the rock, or he's just such an affluent offensive player that he doesn't need
He might
to?
have passed the rock. He might have passed the rock in Europe. He didn't pass the rock in Vancouver. So,
Well,
um,
the Paul Bale I know, he was a point
you
guard in
know,
Europe, and
Paul
he
Bale, you
wasn't a
know, is
point
in the
guard
Hall of Fame. So,
in.
I
Well,
mean, let's
no,
be
that's not
honest.
true. I would have loved to continue playing the way I love to play in Europe, and I did on occasion if the team
Um,
needed it.
but yeah,
But
I think
I'm disappointed you brought that in because I thought it would be on a positive light. But typically you just can't help
that was
yourself.
positive. He scored 34
Oh,
points.
from
That's
your
positive.
perspective, yeah. And what are you saying? I dropped a no for? I've never had not a dime, a steal, foul shots,
Uh,
3-pointers, and even occasional block in my entire life. Grizzlies beat the Nuggets 125-118. What the hell,
Let's
man?
not
That
get
is
into the Nuggets.
embarrassing.
So I think that
Excuse
the
me.
one scary thing, if you're a Knicks fan right now, you're matched up first round against Cleveland Cavaliers. That's your first round matchup right now,
Yeah,
3 and 4.
and Allen, big Fro will be back by then.
Yeah, so that's going to be quite the playoff.
Could
That'll
be
be
an
quite the
upset. Could
series.
be an upset.
Yeah, that could be a good series. And unfortunately
Yeah.
for Toronto, Toronto would be playing Boston, and it is again outside of beating Detroit last week. I mean, Toronto's 1-15 or 16 against the top 10 teams or something in the
Yeah.
league. Like their record wasn't great until then. So
They could
again,
make a run. I think if any team in the East that nobody's talking about, I think Trent, because we're Canadian and I know you've mentioned it before. I think if anyone, I'm going to go Cinderella. I'm going Toronto.
yeah, I don't know. And Atlanta, the way they're playing, like we talked about before
Right
the
now
show,
with
right?
and Podol is playing like he's starting to be his old self from last year,
Yeah,
man.
I like
Better
that. I
late than
think that.
never again, eh?
Yeah, yeah. So, um, but I mean, yeah, the Eastern playoffs. I mean, it's. I actually think it's probably.
It's
I
really
still think
four or
it's.
five teams.
I still think it's those four teams.
Yeah,
I still think it's
with
Detroit,
Toronto as a
Boston.
fifth, my with Cinderella.
I still think it's Detroit, Boston, New York, Cleveland. One of those four is winning the
Yeah.
East, unless it's like a little bit of a run by somebody like you're saying. But I think those are the four teams to beat for sure. It's going to be one of those four teams in the finals. Is what I'm
And,
going to
unless
predict.
they can get Franz Wagner Brothers
Yeah.
back in Orlando, I don't see them doing it. I really don't. Tristan Zaselva is great coming off the bench, better of a seventh, eighth guy coming off the bench.
Yeah.
The one thing with Orlando is their big center, who's a bit of a stiff, has actually been playing, really trying and healthy, really trying to Wendell Carter Jr. And I've been a really kind of a harsh critic on him for quite
Very
some
hard on
time.
tonight.
Very much so. But I picked him up because I looked at their schedule and
Notice
the
that.
way he's been playing and how the reason why he's been playing that well is his teammates they're communicating with him. It's important that he try to be more creative in the offense on the block. Use your body. There's no one. That guy is wide. He's a truckload, bro.
You've been hard on him like you are on his girlfriend too.
Well, I always thought he was married.
Yeah, you've been hard on him like you are his girlfriend.
I have no idea what that means.
Well, you're hard on Angel Reese too. You don't like her either. So that's his
It's not.
girlfriend.
I don't know her. It's not. I don't like her. I find her repulsive as a human being.
So, but yeah, I think the East that way. I think when we talk about the West, you definitely can tell that there's more teams that I think you could pick 6 teams in the West to make the finals.
Well, let's go to the West, bro. Let's go to the West. Good. Segue.
I think the East is those 4 teams. It'd be an upset if it's not one of those 4 teams in the finals from the East. So,
Yeah.
the West, San Antonio, like we talked about, that kind of got on that wagon, and they gotten close to OKC, and they just haven't been able to close that. It's always been that 3 to 5 game gap for that first place, and that's where they're at right now.
A lot of games left.
But I would not want to play them in the playoffs just because of Wnba. I mean, that guy is from the 3-point line.
And their
down.
depth and their backcourt and their youth and their
Stephen
athleticism.
Passos- Stephen
Wow.
Passos playing out of his mind right now. He's
Excuse
playing
me.
such
Yeah, it's incredible.
great basketball right now. And De'Aaron Fox is a bucket, man. They need a bucket. He can get one.
He's a silent assassin. You just don't. No one talks about him.
They've done a good job there. They've
Yeah.
done a very good job. And the
Very
depth that they
good
built,
job.
I mean, you think about who comes off the bench and how they're
Sheldon
recruiting.
Johnson and Champagny and
And he starts
Cornette
and then he was 28
and that
minutes and then
beanpole, that young kid Bryant, he's got like a 44-inch vertical,
yeah. Oh,
six
dude,
nine. Woo.
they've done a great job of
Yeah.
drafting and developing players. And
Yeah.
they've made a couple of trades, but overall, these are all draft picks. These are all players they've developed. Like they've done a very good job in San Antonio.
Well,
Gotta give
it's
them
the
credit.
farm system, you know. I mean, the Spurs have been doing it. Pop's the one who
Popovich,
started it, right?
one of the best coaches to do it, Greg Popovich. That's you start at the top. That's where it starts. Look at the guy that's coaching. Who do you think
Yeah.
he coached under for all these years? And mentored
Well, he's
under?
coached.
Greg
He's
Popovich.
coached under 4 incredible coaches, but Pop was
Yeah,
his.
exactly that too. Yeah, but OKC is still the cream of the crop. You got to beat the
Yeah.
champs. They're still the champs. They wouldn't be.
And they're
some big
healthy,
shot.
and they've got great depth. I mean, my God, they're scary, man. I wouldn't want to play them either.
Yeah, their depth's ridiculous.
And Holmgren, I got to say, Holmgren's been playing really well for them.
He has, yeah. I mean, they're the team to beat. No one should be surprised if they were in the finals from the West again. I mean, it wouldn't be some big shock. The Lakers have really picked it up here lately. They're 9-1 in the last 10.
Incredible.
Jumped up to that third spot, so they're a game ahead of Mini. The Rockets are right there. I know Lakers are beating them tonight. I just don't trust the Rockets without having a point guard. I just don't see it when the games slow down in the playoffs, and you need to have. You can't just pass. You can't just hand the ball. You know what? The Lakers, really good job by their coaching staff the other night. Is every time Kevin Durant got the ball, they basically went and doubled him.
Double team him, of course.
And it was just like, and
Because
so right
Durant
now,
wants to shoot it, he doesn't want to pass it. Although he's an adept passer.
without a point guard, it makes it very difficult for that team.
Well, not only that, you're missing the major part. It's not just the point guard. That's the most important, is that when they double team him and he's got to pass it out to one of the 4 players and only one of them can shoot the 3.
Well, that too, yeah.
And you look at Eason, he has just disappeared in the last 20 games.
Well, they didn't have Sengun the other night either, so he's...
Well, Sengun's had one, and usually he's young. He hasn't been injury prone, but this year he's been unbelievably back, ankles, migraine, family, personal, a lot of shit, man.
Denver losing tonight. I mean, they're in the 6th spot.
Against Memphis? That's embarrassing, bro.
I mean, and right now that would be that wouldn't be so great for you as a Laker fan, because that would be the Lakers and Nuggets, the first round matchup right now, if that's what happens. Like 3-6, like that's your matchup in the first round.
Why do you think I said the Nuggets have a chance to win the NBA championship this year?
I don't know. I've watched the last couple of Laker games, especially the one against Mini the other night, and I think the refs have got money on the Lakers to try to get them to the finals because.
Okay, whatever.
I would say the most impressive team for me in the West, the one that surprised me the most, is Phoenix. I mean, they have between getting rid of players, players being injured, the fact that they're right there.
Look at their starting lineup, bro.
I know, it's crazy what they're doing.
Book is the only one that is a legitimate all-star.
No, most people wouldn't be able to name the 5 that they start. Like they just wouldn't. Most fans wouldn't be able to.
No.
So
they wouldn't be able to name the entire roster, most of them, because who knows?
I like seeing that. It looks like, I mean, the West is basically, I mean, it's decided on that bottom 5 too, or bottom 4 in the play-in too, because Memphis is at 30 games back, and Golden State's 21. So I don't see Golden State. I mean, even if they win the play-in, they're getting beat 4-1 in the playoffs. 4 games.
Look, they're not going anywhere unless Curry gets back sooner than later. Come on, man, this is ridiculous.
They're not winning a playoff round because they're going to have to play either OKC or San Antonio, and Golden State's not beating one of those 2 teams, even with Steph Curry. They're not beating those 2 teams. So
wow. Okay.
But I like seeing Portland in there. I'd love to see Portland actually win in the play-in to get into an actual 7-game series. I'd like to see them play. I think they're one of those teams, and you and I have talked about them.
Yeah.
I've brought them up a lot. They are a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
Like they got a bunch of talent, and they're fun to watch. They're young, they're well coached, they play hard, and they're just. I'd like to see them in the playoffs. Even if
there's good chemistry, there's good continuity, and anytime you got Drew Holiday running the show, he's just so smooth, man.
I'd like to see them. And the Clippers, I'd like to see them not make the playoffs at all.
No.
So, but the West is definitely.
It's not going to happen.
Honestly, we could pick. Like we said, it's the top 4 teams in the East are probably the finals. I mean, you could pick the top 6 in the West and wouldn't be surprised if any of those 6 are in the final. Really, even the
I'd say
Lakers.
7, but yeah, for sure.
I don't
I
think there's
totally
7.
agree. Anything
I
can
don't think,
happen.
but
Well, it's a
those 6,
playoff. It's the play-in is going to be really interesting, and of course,
yeah.
if
I
one
don't
of
think
these
any
great
team,
teams loses a player, could change the whole dynamics of their
I
playoff run.
don't think Phoenix, the Clippers, Portland, or Golden State is out of the play-in is winning a series. I don't think any 4 of those teams are winning or 2 of those teams, because only 2 make it in. Neither of those 2 teams that get in, they're playing OKC and they're playing San Antonio, and they're going to get crushed. They're not winning.
So the big question is, excuse me, this whole throat thing is driving me nuts. It was so beautiful today. Apologize for that. Flying out to with you. The best is the final start on April 1st. First game?
June 3rd.
June 3rd. Okay. So I still got to work that out because you sent me 2 different dates, and I've been looking at the dates. I've got really good prices on tickets and everything like that, but I still need to know dates. What's the best for you guys?
Well,
I'd rather watch the NBA games. If I can get 4 NBA games, that would be my preference.
Well, and the other part there is that
the pre-games. I know you said that.
It might be the week before the finals. They don't have the schedule for that 3rd round with the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, and there would be a game every night because you'd have East and West final games every night.
I know that's what's screwing me up, bro. Because I only got like 6 days, right?
They don't have a start date for the 3rd round. I've been looking. That's the only round they have the start date.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after the show. But
something that we talk about for sure. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. All right. So are we going to wrap things up? Anything you want to close with?
That's all I got, man.
Excellent. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us. My name is Paul Bale. I'm the host and founder of the Canadian Bro Show, and we really appreciate you guys coming out and watching the show. It's going to be released in the next hour or so. Once it's finished, we started late here Wednesday. Trent's been really busy. Oil apparently is an important topic in the world today. Geez, I wonder why. But in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us. This is episode 51 from All Basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley on the Canadian Bro Show, our 2nd season, week 21. And it was a great show. Trent, thanks very much for joining the show. And I will talk to you about what we were just talking about because I've got to solidify those flights and everything. I'm looking forward to see you. And great show. And thanks, everybody, for joining us. As you see, right next to Pluto Verliotis's head on his left ear is the subscribe button. If you enjoy this show, it's a free content, and we're trying to grow the show. Please, we don't want to beg, but, we'd appreciate a subscription, a like, a share, comment, anything. We answer all comments. And in the meantime, Trent, before we go, we want to tell everybody else in the world that if they could do one thing to make a difference in somebody's life, including your own, what would you do, Trent?
Be an asshole. It's free. Be kind. It's free.
I knew you were going to do that. Anyways, everybody be kind. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, Trent. We'll talk to you soon, bro.
Yeah, bud.
Take care. This is my team that I was sold for 3,500 pounds from Doncaster Panthers in 1995. And in the beginning of the season, the first quarter of the season, wasn't feeling the coach and the whole vibe. And they sold my rights to the Newcastle Comets, which became the legendary British Basketball League champions over and over again, the Newcastle Eagles. And I'll leave you. Thank you very much for joining the show. And have a look at our lineup. And guess who I am? It's not the 7'4" guy, Alan Bannister, that's for sure. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Take care. Be kind. Peace.